Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Monty.
And I'm Sam, and we're here for the quarterfinals of the Porto versus Chelsea game of the second leg. Let's go. That's right. We're here for the second leg, Monty.
Yes, we are.
Biggest game, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
We've played very well against Porto in the first leg.
Yeah.
2-0 puts us in a fairly good position going into the second leg.
Yeah.
I think you'll agree with me.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it's just a brilliant first game that we've had. It's going to be definitely a tough one. Porto are going to come out really, really strong. They're going to be physical. They're going to battle hard, and they're going to want to win this. And it is undoubtedly the biggest game of the year for Tuchel and the boys. I think it's going to be a strong lineup. Obviously, we've got to see a strong lineup.
Yeah, of course we do. Yeah.
Anyone in particular?
I think for this game, Kante has to start.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? You know, he's so crucial to the team. He changes the dynamic of every single team he's ever been in. You know, you look at the Leicester, especially Chelsea as well, helping us win the title in his first ever season. I think he's definitely, you know, he's in the past few years he's gone from overrated to now, in my opinion, he's become underrated. Just because, you know, Josu Kimmich has burst onto the scene with Bayern. And he's young in comparison to Kante, but I think that Kante is one of the second best CDM in the world.
Yeah, I think obviously this game's fairly similar to the Atletico game.
Yeah,
we've got an away goal like Atletico in the first leg.
Well, 2 away goals.
A bigger advantage now. And I think if Kante is to start, I think that's a clear indication that Tuchel might be playing a defensive lineup.
Yeah.
I think we may see 4 at the back this game. Because can I see us having more outfield players than defenders? Not really, because I don't think Tuchel's going to want to go out there and get 3 goals. He's going to go out there, maybe get 1 off a counter-attack or defensively play the game and to get no goals and hold the lead of a 2-0 win on aggregate. But it's just down to really who he plays. I think if we see Timo, Pulisic, Callum, Mason Mount, he may go attacking. Yeah, I don't. I want to see 4 at the back. I want to see.
I actually don't think I do, because if we were to play 4 at the back, and we concede 2 goals, oh no, it's critical for Porto, because if they've scored those 2 goals, they're away goals. Yeah. So then we'd be equal in terms of goals. Then if we're playing 4 at the back, we can't. You saw us when we tried to play 4 at the back. I think it was against West Brom when we were getting absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
We can't, and it just didn't work. Nothing worked. So I think we have to play 3 at the back, because it's what the players know, it's what Tuchel knows, and it's honestly it's the best football I've ever seen us play under Tuchel. So
yeah, well, it's difficult because obviously if we do play that 3 at the back, we're gonna have Rudiger, Aspilicueta, Christensen's out for injury. Very unfortunate, because at the moment he's our best defender.
Brilliant.
So we're going to see Thiago Silva, maybe Zuma, but I'd rather Thiago.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't get another red card. But I think if we're going to play that 3 at the back, I would like to see Reece on the right.
Yeah.
And Alonso on the left. So we have got that.
Yeah, we can drop back a bit.
Yeah, we can drop back. We can.
Chilwell's not as defensively solid as.
We can drop back into that 5 if needed, if they've got many men forwards. Because I think Callum's not a defender. Tuchel can't put him in that position and expect Callum to get back and be that 5th man to make a tackle in or outside the box. But I think Reece is definitely the man for the job. He's solid, he's strong. Alonso is defensively solid, as you said, more than Chilwell is. Chilwell's more attacking, speed, whip balls in, get quicker on the counter-attack. But I think this is the game for Alonso and Reece to really step up in their positions. We've seen it from Alonso recently, obviously coming on after several months and scoring a goal. But this is really his chance to pick up his pace and momentum to really get that solid starting point with Tuchel, and have the confidence that he's going to get every game over Chilwell or Callum in Reece James' case. Question. Put me a question.
You're asking me, do I have a question?
Yes.
Of course I've got a question. I've always got questions with me. Porto didn't have their 2-star strikers playing against us in the first leg, and I think they definitely suffered from that because they had that guy up front who looked a bit like Akinfenwa and Opara had a love child or something like that. So do you think we're going to struggle with... I've never seen their 2 strikers play in my whole entire life, so they could be utterly rubbish or they could be brilliant. So.
I feel like no defenders are going to get in Rudiger's head. We know that. Even Luis Suarez.
Yes, you saw Suarez. Yeah. Rudiger absolutely bullied him the whole game.
Like Suarez, one of the top goal scorers in La Liga, and I think he is. And really, Porto strikers, I have never seen them either. No. They could be crap or they could be brilliant.
Yeah.
But I think the way our defence is playing at the moment, I think it's not going to cause us any problems to an average striker like Tammy Abraham or Giroud.
Yeah.
But they could be a cause. They could come on and they could be very dangerous. Like Patrick Bamford, right? You may not rate him, but you see what he does.
No, come on. I never said I don't rate him. I just don't. I don't know. But we'll discuss about that.
You see what he does. He is so dangerous. We played against him. He made so many chances, and he scored 17 goals this season, all from dangerous threats running through, and that's no defence can handle a perfect ball through onto the striker's foot, and we've got to be careful of that, whether we play a high line or a defensive line.
Yeah.
Because we know Rudiger likes to come out from that back, charge forwards, which I love to see, but it might be dangerous.
Yeah. I think it's definitely something Tuchel can take into consideration, I suppose.
Obviously, we've got to talk about that Crystal Palace game.
Yeah.
4-1.
Beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that game. Havertz or James Charles played absolutely brilliantly. Same with Pulisic, but I was most impressed by Azpilicueta, to be honest. Not once did Zaha look threatening or goal-bound, where Azpilicueta didn't have him in his back pocket nicked the whole game. Mm-hmm. I just remember sitting there and watching and just thinking, wow, Azpilicueta is really showing why he is a regular starting player.
I totally agree. Obviously, we got those 2 really early goals in the space of something like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And Havertz, again, that's his best game so far. Yeah. He's really showed what he's made of, and I think he's coming through now more than Timo Werner. I think potentially getting a start at the Porto game.
Maybe. I don't know.
That was a brilliant game. Yeah. If I'm honest, there was nothing wrong with it. It all went to plan. Tuchel's obviously got to be happy. They did get 1 goal back, but it wasn't to our worry because we won 4-1.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mason Mount, again, excellent that game. Pulisic getting 2. So maybe his scoring streak is going to be back like last season, but we don't know. It was just a great game to really watch after we had lost to West Brom. Obviously, we did have that first leg of the Porto game after. We won 2-0. But I think we were expecting to win against Crystal Palace. They were quite a weak side, I thought, the weekend. They weren't the strongest we've seen them. But
Eze didn't really turn up either. Neither did Zaha.
I mean, that header from Benteke was a brilliant header. But Zuma getting on the score sheet as well.
Yeah, that's what you love to see from a defender who hasn't been too... What's the word? Well, how do I put this without being offensive?
Too amazing.
Yeah, he hasn't been brilliant, has he? But he also hasn't been bad. He just hasn't been Zuma, what we would expect of him.
Yeah.
So, I think it's good for him to score.
Yeah, definitely. I think, will that earn him a place in the starting lineup?
Will that earn him a place? No. Because as a defender, it's not whether you can knock in a goal from a header, from a corner. Anyone can do that with a massive head and a nice strong physique. It's whether you are intelligent defensively solid, good in the air, as Zuma is, but he just hasn't been. He hasn't been better than Thiago Silva or Christensen for me, or Rudiger for that matter.
Yeah, for me, I think at the moment he's just a threat in the box.
Yeah.
On the corners, which is obviously what we need, because really and truly we don't have many tall players apart from Rudiger, Havertz, Zuma and Christensen. Reece James is fairly small, so is Callum, Mount, Timo.
Yeah.
When Giroud plays, obviously he's the biggest player on the pitch. Yeah, but when he doesn't play, Zuma's that strong guy that we need in the box, but he is not defensively solid.
No, well, he hasn't been.
He hasn't been recently, but at the start of the season he was.
Yeah, that's very fair.
We've got to talk about the score prediction, though. What are you thinking?
I'm going to say 0-0. There's not going to be a goal conceded or a goal scored. And I'm going to say that because Tuchel's not an idiot. He knows how to play football. He's done this time and time again, playing against teams where he's done well in the first leg. And, as they say, Tuchel is the master of the second leg. I don't think there's not going to be anything of interest in this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with 1-0 because I feel like we've got to get a goal.
Yeah.
To just make it secure at least, because they could come back and they could get 2 away goals. Hopefully they won't, and they won't, going into this game confident. But I think getting 1 goal, even though it's not an away goal, is just gives us more security to give us that spot in the semi-finals. But I reckon who to score?
Who
to score, yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
1-0. I think Kai Havertz to score.
That is very interesting, because that would knock him up a few places in my Chelsea rank book if he did that.
Because I don't think he's got a goal in the Champions League, has he?
I think he does against Krasnodar, but that doesn't really count because they're farmers. But
but yeah, 1-0. Kai Havertz to score this. It should be good.
It should be a very, very, very interesting game.
Yeah. Any more questions, Monty?
I don't think I do have any more questions. Do you have any for me?
Let me try and think. Timo Werner, okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, he got that 1,000-minute drought goal a couple of weeks back, and we haven't seen him score since, and he's been playing tons of games before. And you asked me this question in the earlier podcasts about why Timo Werner isn't in form, why he's not scoring, and what is happening to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's been given games now. He started for 4 games straight, and mine and your answer to that question was
not enough play time.
Yeah, not enough game time.
Yeah.
What's your answer now?
So I don't have an answer, but I'm sure I can conjure one in my brain while I'm talking. Obviously, my first answer was he's not being given enough game time. He is not being displayed to be able to score. He's not being given equal opportunity to be able to score.
Yeah.
That's obviously been proved false because he's still not scoring. But I think in some sense that was the right answer, but in other senses it wasn't. Yeah. Because if you think about what he's been doing, he's been absolutely excellent on the ball. He's definitely changed his attitude.
Yeah.
And he's as a striker, it's not all about goals, and he's been racking up the assists, to be fair. So I think in that sense, in one sense, it's not. In one sense, it is game time. It is him getting game time, and he has showed definitely better quality than he did 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But in another sense, I actually think it's down to he can't. I don't think he can really get over these misses.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple things floating about how he says it's his fault that Frank or whatever, but I don't really know. So I think it's confidence for him. I think mainly.
Yeah, that's That is the main thing that's going on at the moment. Obviously, we talked about this before the Crystal game, that Tuchel sent him in from training for asking to have some shot practice. Yeah. And Tuchel said, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You've been kicking a ball since you're 6, and you've been putting them in the back of the net for most of your career.
Yeah, of course.
Up till now. Mm-hmm. And he said the goals will come.
Yeah, of course they will.
But it's the end of the season. We've got 7 games left. And if I'm honest, I don't want to see him for all 8 games now. I want to see him for 4, and that's max, because we need the points now. We need 3 games. We need 3 points maximum every game. And Timo Werner's not doing it at the moment. And this isn't even though it seems a bit stupid, it's not time for testing. It's not time for waiting. And
West Ham are hot on the trail.
Yeah.
And I think that loss against West Brom is just...
Yeah, really...
It's haunting us a little bit.
Obviously, Liverpool starting to come back.
Yeah, of course.
Which is... Well, Tottenham, Liverpool and West Ham are close. We've been knocked down to 5th now. West Ham won their game last night.
It's 1 point. It's not. I'm not too fussed about it.
But Timo Werner, Tuchel can't put him on and say, you know what, put him on, see if he gets a goal, because the goals will come.
No.
I would rather him go,
agree.
Put Drew on because he will score and will win the match, not put Timo on, he might score.
Yeah.
Like,
I know what you're saying.
It doesn't make any sense to start playing a player who scored like
inconsistent
4 goals. Yeah, literally the most inconsistent striker apart from Higuain that we've had at the club.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's just really not the time to start doing that. We can do it next season if we don't let go of him. Because obviously we've got that big signing, Haaland, maybe coming to the club.
Wishful thinking, Sammy.
Yeah. But I think Giroud up top, maybe.
Yeah.
For this game. Tammy, I think he's not match fit.
Yeah.
But I reckon maybe subbed on. Because, listen, he's not a great striker, okay?
Yeah,
we know that, but he scores the goals. He's our top goal scorer for Chelsea.
It's unbelievable the fact that a man can be injured for 5 months and still be our top goal scorer.
Literally. Listen, I don't care how he gets the goals, if I'm honest. It's really, really, really good to see Chelsea get some beautiful goals, some beautiful play.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to accept those tap-ins, because those are the goals that wins the game. Those tap-ins that Tammy's always there for, where he's in the right position for an easy goal, are the goals that are going to win us the semi-finals or the finals of the Champions League, or get us into that 4th spot in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Yeah,
that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the podcast for the second leg of the Porto game. We'll definitely have an after-match review out for you, 100%, because this is one of the biggest games of the year.
Who are we not to do that?
Yeah. And we'll see you for the after-match review.